Hello, Gene the OK Boomer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Today's subject is going to be very short. In fact, I'm really just going to show you a photo. So before we get to that, I'll just give you a quick update on polling, the approval, or you could say disapproval, of President Biden. Now, my two go-to polls are the Rasmussen poll and the Trafalgar poll. I won't go into a lot of details. I'll just say that they've been the most accurate. Trafalgar actually has an interesting way that they poll. I guess I'll just mention that because one of the reasons they are so accurate is what they'll do is they'll go and ask people, they'll say to somebody, how are you going to vote? For whom are you voting in this election? But then they'll ask, for whom do you think your neighbors are voting? And that gives a much more accurate picture of what, or prediction of what's going to happen in the election. So that's what Trafalgar does. Now Rasmussen, well, I might as well talk about them too. They do a 3-day moving average, so it's not just one day's polling. They only poll likely voters, those who have a solid history of voting in past presidential elections. And they use a robot voice, so you don't get influenced by the inflections of the voice or in the voice of a human questioner. What they do is a mechanical voice asks the questions and then you answer by pushing a button on your phone. So with that in mind, well, let's start with Rasmussen. Rasmussen today, the day before you're seeing this, I'm recording this Monday, has Biden at 41%, which is just 1% above the lowest he's ever been in the Rasmussen poll. Also, that is 2 points behind where Trump was at this point in his presidency. And this has been going on for a while. Biden has been, well, they say how bad, or the liberals say how bad Trump is, but, well, they'll mention the low approval ratings for Biden, and the liberals will, and why that is, but they never mention, at least I haven't heard anybody mention or seen any liberal put in print, that Biden is doing worse than Trump. That matters. So it's not surprising, but it's interesting that they don't ever mention that Biden is doing worse than Trump now, at least in the Rasmussen poll. And now that gets us to the Trafalgar poll, which has Biden at 39%. Now, there was another poll, I don't remember which one it was, Morning Consult, maybe. I don't remember exactly. That had him at 39% too, but that was a little while ago. This is, and that was not as, Trafalgar, as I said, it's one of my go-to polls, and it means a lot more to me that Biden is at 39%, and he's below 30% with independents. So I want to get that out of the way. Now, I'll just give you now today's subject. This, I'm sure, is a big reason why Biden's approval is so low. The border wall. Not only are they not building more wall, they've canceled the existing contracts that they had. As of today, Biden administration has officially totally canceled just canceled the whole border wall. So we can be sure that it's deliberate, that the Democrats are deliberately importing voters, or people they hope will get amnesty and become future voters who will vote for Democrats. And I think they're going to be surprised, the liberals, because these are Hispanic people, and Hispanic people are turning more conservative, more towards the Republicans, or they may end up shooting themselves in the foot on this. But because they are just opening the borders to people coming from Latin America, but closing the border, they're turning back boat people from, and these are legitimate refugees, from Cuba. Because, why? Because they vote Republican. Anyways, I just want to show you this photo. Take a look at this photo. That photo is unused steel. This is steel that has been ordered. You can see it's the steel fencing. It is sitting there, just piles and piles of it, millions and millions of dollars worth of steel. You can see it just sitting there, bought, paid for, just sitting there. All that remains is to put it up. Just put up this fencing and then paint it. And I understand the idle workers are being paid too because there are contracts. So as I said, it has to be deliberate. It has to be deliberate. Either that or they are incredibly naive to think that these walls would not help at all. But as I said, I'm sure it's deliberate. Just another reason why we are really screwed for the next, well, it's not 3.5 years anymore, thank God. It's more like 3.25 years. But we are really screwed as long as they are in power. So my advice, I urge everybody, oh, by the way, disclaimer, I'm a conservative. Always keep that in mind when you evaluate what I say, because liberals are probably hoping that this doesn't happen, but I am urging everybody, get out there and vote in 2022. At least let's have a Republican House and Senate, and then there's going to be a problem with the budgeting if when reconciliation comes along again with the Republicans in power. They're going to want to allocate money to finish the wall, and Biden would probably veto it. And with the Republicans in power, the media, which is overwhelmingly liberal, as we know, will be working overtime to blame the Republicans if there's an impasse over passing a budget, raising a debt ceiling, or whatever. That's a problem they're having right now. The Democrats are completely in power, and McConnell, he's being criticized a lot, even by other Republicans for this, for agreeing to a 2.5-month extension of the debt ceiling to raising it just temporarily. The critics say that he's throwing a lifeline to the Democrats, but he's not. They're going to be arguing as much as they are, but they are they will not be able to say, as they were saying, that the Republicans, by forcing the Democrats to raise a debt limit through reconciliation, that there's just no time to do it, that they just don't have the time, even though McConnell warned them way back in July, when they had months to do it, that the Republicans were not going to help them. But now they are, I mean, he said it then, and then the time passed, and then he's just reminding the Democrats now. But now he's giving them 2.5 more months, and you can be sure he'll be reminding the Democrats every few weeks. I'm sure he'll say, okay, we gave you the time. You still haven't raised the debt limit. Remember, we're not going to help you this time. You still have time to do it. You could easily just bring forth, and Republicans would probably vote for it too, just a clean reconciliation bill that does nothing except raise the debt limit. Plenty of time to do that, and he'll be just saying that over and over and over periodically until, well, hopefully it won't happen, but we come to the point in December when we're just a few days or a couple of weeks away from hitting another deadline, but this time they will even have less of an excuse than they did before, and they didn't even have one before. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. I will keep you up to date, and that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the time that you spend with me. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions for future topics, you can put them in the comment section below the video. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You can share the video with anybody you think would also like the video. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.